Hey y'all, we're back with even more Black Ops 7, and just before we get into it, I want to say thank you so much for 1,000 subs. This is obviously not the 1,000 sub celebration, but that will be coming eventually. I can't promise before the new year. I do have a loose outline of things that I want to put out before the end of the year, so it might have to be pushed off until the new year, as I do kind of want to do something special for it. But again, won't speak on that too much, so either it'll be just before the new year or the end of the new year, beginning of the... Anyways, point is, thank you so much for 1,000 subs. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share all the wonderful buzzwords that we love on this beautiful, beautiful platform that is YouTube. I'd greatly appreciate it, and it would mean a lot to me. I've taken up enough of your time, 53 seconds and counting to be exact, for this intro. So let's get right into my definitive opinions and choices on augments for perks, ammo mods, and we'll get into fielded upgrades and how controversial they are when we get there. All right, enjoy. Thank you. Now, as you can see, we have all augments fully leveled here for perks and ammo mods. Not quite for field upgrades yet. And we'll get into that for a moment because I don't want to put this off until I get 100% on these last two. And like I said, we'll get into that when we get there. So let's start off with the perks. Now for stamina up, I would say my definitive augments to run would be Free Faller, Hard Target, and Quarterback. Overall, just increasing your mobility and, reducing your damage that you're taking while you're sprinting, or you don't have to even worry about fall damage anymore, and using equipment while sprinting has proven to be useful at some points for me. So I'd say that those are my definitive go-to with stamina. Quick Revive, Equivalent Exchange is just the GOAT. It's the greatest thing that Quick Revive has to offer, right? I'd say Slower Death and Swift Recovery. Slow Death, obviously, it increases your time to either get rezzed or to res yourself with Equivalent Exchange. And Swift Recovery, who doesn't like a little bit of a speed boost when you get yourself back up or get a friend up or whatever the case may be. Now, Juggernog, we're finally here at a really heavy hitter. I'd say Quick Revive is getting there, but it's not quite. Juggernog, obviously a staple. Now for this, I do have two options. I would say either just maximum health increase or reactive armor. I'd say reactive armor is overall the best because when an armor plate breaks, just disorientates everybody nearby. Pretty good to have. Hardened plates, more damage mitigation, and increases your armor durability with durable plates. Juggernog, it's a staple. Yeah, it's Juggernog. Melee Macchiato. Okay, Melee Macchiato is a perk that could be way, way better than it is, but unfortunately, it's just not that great as it is right now. Now, I'd say Espresso just for the faster melee attacks as always. Barista Brawl for the more essence from melee kills, and I'll explain that in a second. And Mugging, so you get reloaded. Your weapon gets reloaded when you get a melee kill. Now, I say Barista Brawl because it's just kind of nice to get extra essence from melee kills. This might fall off later on in the game, but I think if you're popping a Perkaholic and going crazy, it's kind of nice just to have a little bit more padding. Again, Melee Macchiato could be a fantastic perk, but fortunately, it is just kind of lackluster, and should its major augment, Vampiric, be a minor, I think that this becomes an immediate S tier and one of the best perks in the game, but unfortunately, that's not the Melee Macchiato we have. Speed Cola, another staple. Classic formula, just always nice to be able to reload even faster, swap weapons faster, and deploy equipment faster, just speeding everything up. It's really great to have, and, just want to make everything faster. Now, Voltrade, another heavy hitter we have going on here. Again, just picking up armor plates automatically applies to your vest. This did get slightly adjusted from Season 0 to Season 1, but it isn't that bad of a change. I wouldn't even really say it's a nerf. I actually kind of prefer it the way it is now. There's a lot more armor on the ground because you don't just automatically fill to the brim anymore. It is kind of nice, but it is also nice because when your armor breaks, it will also replenish, but you have to be, again, down an armor plate already, so the last two will replenish, and sometimes your third one will replenish. I don't know. I don't know if it's working as intended. It might be a little finicky, but regardless, I'd say Armormatic And then critical kills have a chance to drop extra salvage. It's always nice to have extra salvage. And auto pick up loot from further away helps so much. If you don't have that equipped and you realize that you have to walk over salvage multiple times and do the little salvage shimmy to get it to pick up, this completely gets rid of it. It's just completely gone with this. It's amazing. This perk sucks. I hate it to no end. Critical Eye is, in my opinion, better than Sixth Sense because I hate how often that stupid alert is at the bottom of your screen. So just having a chance that a body shot is a crit shot, it's great. I mean, you see things further, the minimap pings faster. This thing is a useless perk, let's be honest. Do you really care what I have to say about this perk? I don't think you do. It's useless. You get this with, Perkaholic, and it's just kind of there. PhD Flopper. Unfortunately, PhD got a bit of a nerf with Black Ops 7 from Black Ops 6, where the PhD slider no longer slid as far as it did in Black Ops 6. And then they nerfed the overall slide in Black Ops 7, which I think further impacted the slide. So it is noticeable difference from Black Ops 6, but I still would say that this is probably your go-to. It gives you a little bit of a faster slide, and it's just nice to have because I'm pretty sure it insta-kills zombies pretty high into the rounds, if not indefinitely, except for armored zombies, of course. Increase your slide distance and speed because you're already using slider, and Stuntman is nice because the wall bounces are actually kind of utilized in Black Ops 7 Zombies, which is really, really fun. And let's be honest, advanced movement is really, really peak. Now, again, Stuntman, it's kind of just what I would say is a go-to. Again, there is that whole tech with the wall bounce and the falling and all that, but I think that kind of got adjusted a little bit. Now, Mule Kick. Here's the problem with Mule Kick that I'm running into right now. Minor augments, without doubt, is Plate Hunter and fully equipped. Having 3 Casimirs and 4 armor plates in reserve, absolutely busted. Now, in my previous video talking about the new returning perks, ammo mods, and all that, I said multi-pack was your go-to. And I still stand by that. However, it would seem that multi-pack has stopped working. I don't know what they did. I don't think they nerfed it. It just stopped working. I have not seen multi-pack hit in probably a week. It just stopped working. So with multi-pack no longer working at the moment, I would say carry more stock in with packing. However, when multi-pack gets fixed, multi-pack, unless I'm super unlucky, but my friend SBR has also said that he's noticed this just stop working over the past week. So I haven't heard anybody talk about this, but I don't think multi-pack is working right now. So maybe just stick with Pack Mule until multi-pack is addressed or whatever the case may be. Now, Deadshot Daiquiri. Absolutely love it. Deadhead, I think just further increasing the crit damage bonus is just kind of a good thing to have. Increased bullet damage to armor pieces. We hate armored zombies, so let's, do as much as we can. And I say just reduce hipfire spread because why not? It's nice to have, right? Double tap. Now, double tap I have changed a bit. I would say double dealer is probably one of the better ones. So every 4th bullet in your weapon magazine deals double damage instead of persistent damage dealing increased damage. And then double time, always having a faster rate of fire is just great because then you're able to get the 4th round out more frequently in your gun, especially if it has a larger magazine. And double caliber bullet weapons have increased penetration damage to their enemies. Again, that's just great for when you're training zombies and then you just mow and through them. Elemental Pop, again, another GOAT. Electric Cherry is always, because when you're running Electric Cherry with this, you're basically getting 2 for 1. You're getting Elemental Pop and the GOAT Electrical Cherry. So, running that, and then I'd say Chill Berry to reduce Elemental Pop cooldowns, so you're popping them more often. And I like running increased enemy elemental weakness damage. It's just kind of nice. I think it helps a lot with, obviously, when an enemy is weak to it and you're doing crit damage, it obviously will do more damage because it's weaker to it, So it's just a nice little thing to have on there. Wisp Tea, Mask of Benevolence. However, I was told by a subscriber or a viewer, whatever the case may be, that the Fox, when reviving you, now gives you back your perks. Originally it wasn't, but now it is. So if you really struggle to survive or there's something ridiculous like the Christmas event right now, Mask of Salvation might be the go-to for you, but it is a lot of, you have to have it procced at the right time, so I don't really know about that. So I would just say Mask of Benevolence, so you're getting healed periodically, and obviously increase the Wisp lifespan and increases its frequency with its decreased cooldown. Now, ammo mods. Deadwire seems to have some problems with the increased duration. It seems to not actually stun zombies when running this, unless this has been fixed. As far as I'm aware, this is still not working properly. So I would say just haste, so it's procced more often, and high voltage, it just deals damage. And of course, the lightning strike, because it covers a massive radius, and it's probably just the best major augment for it. Napalm burst, you're going to run the new petroleum major augment. This leaves a pool of napalm essentially on the ground. It's rather good, actually. I think it's the best major augment we've ever had for it. And then obviously, you want to increase its radius and increase its duration. Although I'd say a substitute was maybe be initial burn damage, but I still think just making the pool on the ground larger and last longer is probably your go-to here. Cryo Freeze, unfortunately, did get a nerf from Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7. So we no longer use Ice Cloud because that thing is basically non-existent now, which is unfortunate because in Black Ops 6, it was so prevalent, it was almost proccing every single time. So now we're using Frozen Stiff, Liquid Nitrogen, and Freeze Burn. Why I like this combo is because I usually put Cryo on my ballistic knife. And now why I do that is because you can shoot with the knife, right? You can shoot it out. That will insta-freeze. And then you can just melee, which, because it's frozen, you're doing more damage to it. And with melee macchiato, when you're hitting it, you know, you're getting reloaded. You're reloading your knife from your knife kill, and you're just doing more damage. It's just a nice little cycle that you can do with Cryo Freeze. Now moving on to Fireworks, this is by far the best ammo mod in the game, period. I would say Starburst, Starlight, and Short Fuse. So it's popping more, it has more, and Starburst is just the best. I will say the calling card for getting kills with Starburst doesn't seem to track for me whatsoever, so that's unfortunate. But here we are, you know, Starburst is definitely the best one. And this, again, is just the best ammo mod in the game, period. Brain Rot, right now, I was doing some of the challenges. Ignore that. I would say you want Pheromone, Haste, and Explosive. So basically, you're making monkey bombs with Brain Rot. Brain Rot something, it attracts them, and then it goes boom. It's literally just a homemade monkey bomb, right? And then obviously, it's popping more often with Haste. Now moving on to Shadow Rift, I currently have Explosive Rain on because the calling card for using this is bugged with Gravity Well, but I would probably still say Gravity Well with Haste and Targeted. Gravity Well basically makes a mini Casimir. It's kind of nice. I think it has some weird maybe animation issues or something like that, but it is pretty nice. So Haste and Targeted or Supermassive. Again, I was doing calling cards. Right, Haste and Supermassive. Light Mend. Now, Light Mend, underrated GOAT of Black Ops 7. So you're going to use the new booster shot, which will overheal you to 350, extra strength, and mitosis. Now, here's the thing. This will overheal not only you, but also your allies, should it be your Light Mends that drop. And again, like I said, it takes you up to 350. The only problem is that you can't replenish it without completely losing it. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just a bug. But as of right now, you have to lose all your overhealing to get more overhealing. But honestly, it's still just really great to have. And again, you can overheal your friends with it. Shatter Blast, another amazing ammo mod to bring right now. So we have Blast Shield, which gives you more damage mitigation, DR, damage resistance, when you damage multiple enemies with this. And to make sure that this works, we're going to increase the size of the explosions. Now, here's the real king. Blast Through. Weapons with Shatter Blast deal more damage through armor. Not that Shatter Blast itself does, but weapons with it does. So you should be able to tear through armored zombies a lot faster with this. Is this something that I highly recommend? No, but if you have a spare weapon that doesn't have Fireworks, Light Mend, or something like that, maybe put this on if you're having issues with armored zombies. Now we're here to field upgrades. And yes, I know I don't have them. I don't have Frenzy Guard and Dark Flare up. Here's the problem with field upgrades. There's two good ones. At best. There's two good ones at best. Okay. Most of these are utterly useless, and you should honestly stay away from using them. But I'll still go through them all, obviously. Energy Mine, Smart Mine, Extra Charge, Frequency, right? Increases how much it detonates, increases the amount of charges you have, so you have 2. And Smart Mine is probably the best Energy Mine major augment that we have. And even then, not that great, I gotta be honest. Frenzy Guard, Frenzy Fire, probably increases its duration, repair more armor per kill, or even Rally. Or even Dual Layer. Layer might be nice, but doesn't really matter because you're never going to use Frenzy Guard other than doing an exploit. Tesla Storm, on the other hand, has the slight chance of being useful. So any of the major augments, really it's dealer's choice, but I just go with Static Discharge. Now the real kings are down here in Minor. You want Overclocked and Lithium, so you move faster with this, and you have increased duration. And so when you're doing Easter egg steps that require you to waddle and you can't sprint, this will increase your movement speed. It's pretty nice to have, but again, still not that great of a field upgrade. Dark Flare, still not a great field upgrade, but here we go. Extension increases the charge, and probably Broad Beam. It's Dark Flare, who cares? It's Dark Flare. Frost Blast has potential with Stone Cold Stronghold, Extension, and Extra Charge, but quite frankly, I don't think Stronghold works. I didn't notice it when I was testing it. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong, but again, who cares? It's not one of the two that you should be running. Now, Toxic Growth is the second one that you should potentially be running. This is really good for solo play, honestly, but it's still not the best field upgrade. There's only one field upgrade that you truly should be running 99% of the time, but for Toxic Growth, I say takes up a wider space, it's here longer, and you have a second charge. All right, it's just your basics. You get 2 charges and it lasts longer. It's usually your go-tos. Healing Aura, what you could be is amazing, and what you are is green, stinky poo-poo. Unfortunately, this isn't like Well of Radiance or even Ring of Fire, but I'd say trying to make it that is your best bet with Resilience, Inner Strength, and I just went with Overcharging Healing, because why not? Let's give ourselves even more overhealing. But mostly it's here for this damage buff. If it was like Ring of Fire or Well of Radiance, where you kind of plop it down and you have to be inside of it, like, an aura, and then you just have damage resistance and you deal more damage with the minor augment, then that'd be really great. But unfortunately, it's not the case. So, Mr. Peaks, it's the better energy mine, but Mr. Peaks is still kind of just useless. I say Arcane Fury increases the duration and increases the attraction radius. It's the better energy mine, but it still isn't that great. And the only field upgrade that you should honestly be running 99% of the time is Aether Shroud. Group Shroud, Extra Charge, Extension, and if you're solo, it's probably just Burst Dash. That's your only other option. But I always just have Group Shroud on because I don't really need Burst Dash, so I just keep this on so I don't forget to switch it off. So, with that said, again, the field upgrades, they're just not good. They really aren't. There's 2 good ones, and honestly, it's still just Aether Shroud's better than Toxic Growth, which is unfortunate, but here we are. So yes, those are my definitive opinions and thoughts and recommendations on augments for Perca-Colas, ammo mods, and field upgrades. So yes, thank you for watching. I don't know how I yapped for like 20 minutes, but I did. It didn't even feel like 20 minutes to me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate any support and all support. I love y'all. Stay hydrated. Bye. Mwah. I got the shivers whenever I'm